Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. And boys, I'm in northern Kansas, and boy, the weather is great, but I think we're coming to the end. Normally, uh, in November, there'll be the first snowfall, so it's probably going to be getting cold pretty soon. And but anyway, I was asked um, about how women have changed through the years. Now, I'm not an expert, that's for sure. I say I'm 71, so I have been around. I've seen a lot. Um, Now, when it comes to women, I got married when I was 22, and we were married for 42 years. So, and I know my wife said that I was tough, and I mean it was hard getting along, and I think, but she also told me women are smarter than men, and I just kind of took her word for it. And I think what's going on, talking about women in general, uh, through these years, uh, they're either really smart or they're not as smart as they used to be. And one of the things is I've noticed uh, not so much marriage, but now I thought it was over a half, 50% divorce rate. But the person that asked me about it said it was 70. So, I don't know. That's 70 oh, on their first marriage or they had repeated divorces. So, but a divorce, this is what I try to tell people. When you get to the point when you're doing a divorce, you don't have a relationship. The divorce is it's like being sued. It's a business. So forget the relationship. There's no relationship. Now it's like I say, it's like a business. So you're being sued. Everybody wants something now, and I uh, so that I think, and the women that I've like I said, really the only women I've really seen is just in the past few years, and I've gone out from anything from 22 to 70 some years old, and uh, the thing is, uh, the the younger ones were normally in foreign countries, and uh, foreign women still look at a marriage as a relationship. Now, once you get a divorce going, and this is what I've learned is talking to men and women, is after they've had the divorce, it leaves a really sour taste in your mouth. And so they look at things differently. And even the foreign women after a divorce, they're focused more on the financial. They're looking for a man financial. They're looking for money. And so now I don't think it's like that on their first marriage. The first marriage, I think people really are looking for a relationship. The problem is, I don't think people realize how difficult a relationship is and everything that goes along with it. In my particular case, I've been in business, and my wife was in business before we got married. She was in business, so she knows business. So we were able to draw a line between business and relationship. And even in our relationship, when we had problems, it never showed at work because we had a business to run. We didn't have time to screw around with whatever kind of relationship problems we had. So, so that's why I'm saying if you're just dealing with someone at the relationship level and they're not working with you on this, then it's not going to last. I mean, that's it. And then eventually they look for the business point of view on it, and that's how much can they get out of the situation. And this is what I've noticed on now the older women. I've noticed they're more for security, and that's foreign and the American women. Um, the security part means they want a man that doesn't have baggage. We always talk about the baggage kind of stuff. Well, a stable man is really valuable. And now I don't know if you're going to find a stable man in his 20s, because like I say, as a young man, we're still learning how the world functions. So that's going to be a little different. Now, but I've noticed the women now, in my particular case, it took me a while to figure out, what am I going to do with a woman? And the thing is, men function better with a woman. And women seem to function better with a man. Now, I think as they get older, they don't realize that. They think they can still do it. They don't need anybody. And because I've noticed, for me, I'm still with the luggage kind of thing. The woman that's got problems, especially as they get older, and they still have problems, they can't get their lives together. That's the problem. And then as they get older, they're focusing more on their children and the family, and not so much on the man. So, and men are different. At least I am, I guess. But then again, we've raised our kids, and I've raised my kids so they don't whine. They take personal responsibility. They do what they have to do in their relationship. In other words, don't have problems and think you're going to drag me into your problems. I mean, they're they're able to work through their problems, and they don't let these problems turn into baggage. And that's what happens. And I've seen it both on men and women have that. And I understand. Now, I'm not saying, okay, if you've got sickness, when your kids get sick, your grandkids get sick, and stuff like that, that's not baggage. That's part of life. I mean, that's things you got to deal with. So in your relationship, that's what you got to deal with. It's not a problem. It's just part of life. Now, a problem is something that they've brought upon themselves, and they weren't able to fix these problems. And as these problems aren't fixed, they snowball. They get worse and worse and worse. And if you've got a child that doesn't take personal responsibility, you can see it really easily. I mean, they've got problems, and it's just these problems seem to escalate. They get more and more problems. Bad decision making, uh, not taking personal responsibility. It's a good example is using money, and that's the thing that I'm going through now. Is because normally I don't need money. I don't use money. Like I say, I just haven't really had much use for it. I normally make money all the time, and I'm doing things and stuff like that. Now with this virus thing, it slowed me down. I'm not getting all the work, and then like I say, I got the expenses, and so I've got expenses with no income coming in. But under normal conditions, what I do is I've got X amount of dollars, and I usually accumulate these dollars more and more because, like I say, I don't have no place to spend it. So, but what happens when you run out of money? Then I just don't spend money anymore. So, but a lot of people don't do that. They think they can just keep spending, where even though they don't have the money, and that is luggage. If they haven't figured out, that's personal responsibility. If they haven't taken personal responsibility, and it's just normally, if they don't take personal responsibility, it's not just one thing. It just goes on and on and on. If someone that takes personal responsibility, they take it. And I've noticed, even now, see, I'm out in the country, and farm kids are even different now than what they used to be. Used to be farm kids were good, hard workers. Money was never a problem, and stuff like that. But now they're having money problems, and like I say, uh, they they're having problems keeping their lives together, not taking personal responsibility. And they say, you see you're doing something not right, don't do it anymore. So they they're having that problem. Now, what happens? A lot of people think a divorce, you're going to take care of that problem, and it doesn't. And that's the problem. If you if if a person's had a divorce, more than likely they didn't learn what the problems were and learn how to handle those problems. And like I say, especially nowadays, this equal rights kind of thing. And so if you believe in equal rights and you're having a relationship, I don't know how that works. you know, uh, as a man, in my beliefs, a man he's the number one. So in other words, if there's a problem in the relationship, I mean, I can't look at anybody and say that's the problem. No, I'm the problem. If the relationship doesn't work, it's my fault. Now, if I'm working with someone that won't let me lead, won't let me take personal responsibility, well, then that's equal rights. And so now you got a problem. What do you want me to do about it? I mean, so, uh, but as the man, whatever the problem is, I'm going to take care of the problem. I mean, that's my role. And, but a lot of these ladies don't understand that they need to sit back and let the man do the man stuff. And they should be able to see there's a problem coming and not so much bitch, because that's what's going to destroy the relationship, but to make sure that the man understands this could be turned to a problem if it's not taken care of. And then that's what's good about the relationship. Then you can talk to your spouse and, okay, now this is the problem, and what can we do to fix it, and all this stuff. That's the man's job. He's the leader. The leader doesn't make all of the decisions. Uh, in the Marines, good example. I mean, just because he's the leader doesn't mean he makes all the decisions. No, he just kind of keeps everything all together. Don't let everybody run around doing their own thing, because you're not going to get anything done like that. And it's the same thing with a relationship. If the man and woman are both doing their own thing, you're not going to have much of a a relationship there. It's going to break down. And this is why you need to work together. And like say, they're not in, and I'm just talking about women in this video, but the women don't seem to be grasping the idea of the man taking that responsibility. And then so then she wants that responsibility. And what happens is these men nowadays, they just sit back and let the women take that responsibility. But I didn't do it when I was younger, and it just kept on going. You know, I mean, my wife wanted a man. She wanted a man that would take responsibility. When it was time for true leadership, she not only wanted me, she demanded that I stood like a man and take care of the situation. Even though it might not taken care of it correctly, then I learned, and first thing I did, avoid that situation because I didn't do a good job. Why would I want to go through that same bad situation again? You know what I mean? So, but I say, so it's not, when you're talking about women, it's not all the woman's fault, but I believe the woman is smarter than the man. Man, if they, I think I'm more one-track mind than most men, but you know, she ought to be able to influence the man to help him stand like a man, make those decisions, be a man. And when he does that, he's doing that for the children. The daughter looks and says, oh, that's the kind of man I want. Now she knows what kind of man she wants. And the son says, okay, that's how to be a man. Now I know how to be a man. But like I say, when you have a divorce and you don't have the man and woman in the household and they're not good examples, that's why things are kind of falling apart. And it's not just on the relationship. That's where all these bad thinking things out. People aren't thinking things out like they should be because of that. That's one of the results. Anyway, this is Mike. NoStressMike.com.